Welcome back to 7 Tesla. Today we're going to be discussing superchargers and what they are. You'd be surprised how many people don't know it, and if you're just looking into this or you just heard about it, well, you kind of want to know. So we're going to get into that. We're going to discuss that a little bit today and go from there. The truth is, there's a lot of people that don't understand what a supercharger is and what is the purpose of it. And essentially, the best way to explain it to most people who just want to know a little bit about it is it's like a gas station, if you will. Now, it's nothing like a gas station, but it would be the equivalent, I guess, of a gas station. Superchargers are currently are Tesla exclusive, which means that only Teslas can use them. And the Tesla Superchargers are amazing. They are one of the, I think they are really what made Tesla what they are today, as far as how big they are. And the reason for that is because you can make the best electric car on the planet. If you are not a person who owns a house, odds are you're going to have a hard time charging your vehicle. So yeah, that's not a good thing. Superchargers, on the other hand, give you that opportunity. They, even for somebody like myself. So we live in a condo, and in our condo, it's, you know, there's nothing there that we can really use to charge up this car. So one of the biggest questions, you know, I get all the time is, well, where do I charge my car? Now, I can always use a level 2 charger. Now, we're going to get into the levels a little bit later on, or a different video, but basically a level 2 charger is a very, very slow charger. A Tesla Supercharger is a very fast charger. To give you guys an idea, on average, I spend about, I'd say anywhere from 40 minutes to 1 hour at a Tesla Supercharger. And that is really, really important to understand, considering the fact that I'm getting close to 600 kilometers, if not more sometimes, out of this car on a single charge. Now, that is very much dependent on how you drive the car, and we'll get into that again another video. But it is really important for you guys to understand that a supercharger, which is, by the way, all over the place at this moment, and it's only growing, a supercharger will charge up these cars in pretty much no time. To give you a really good example, where I live in Burnaby, British Columbia. The nearest supercharger to me would be Vancouver. However, we go to something that's about 20 minutes away from us, 25 minutes away from us, and that is called Tsawwassen Mills. A huge shout out to Tsawwassen Mills. It's a great little mall, but they had the foresight to actually say, yeah, we definitely want a Tesla Supercharger here. So we go to the mall anyway. We're gonna go look around, do this, do that, and frankly, the car gets charged. And once again, it's great. It's good to go for anywhere from another 3 days to a week, depending on how much I use the car that particular week. The most I've ever been to a supercharger in 1 week was 3 times. Mind you, that's not really accurate though, because I went to the charger for, let's say, on the Sunday, and I messed around and had fun and enjoyed myself and decided to go up to a place called Squamish. Well, I wasted a little bit, but not enough to really need a supercharger or need a charge for that matter. However, because I'm there, I figured I'll charge it up. And later on that week, following Sunday or Saturday night, I decided to go again just to top it all off, to have it ready for Sunday. Now, the superchargers themselves, and I will post some pictures, the superchargers themselves are beautiful in my opinion. They really are. They're just these things that was really well designed. And on a Tesla, I find that it's really important. With the bigger batteries, the longer ranges, it is really important to have something that gives you a quick charge. And that's really what it does. It's a really, really fast charger. Now, I'll give you guys a little example of how fast this is. On average, I wouldn't say I go to a charger, you know, if I have 70% or 80% on my battery. I usually go if I have anywhere from 30 all the way up to 40, 50% left. And the only reason I would do that is because, just out of dumb luck, I'll come across a supercharger, or I have nothing better to do. That never happens. But I'm usually in the area or anything, you know, something along those lines. So what do? Is I stop by and just top it up. But when we do go, let's say, to the mall, and we want to go inside, go down to the food court, possibly get something to eat, or go down to a restaurant, get something to eat. Well, the superchargers are so quick that if I get there with, let's say, 50% or 40%, I don't even get my food on a table before the charging is done. So that anxiety about how long it's going to take to charge is, trust me, that's gone. So I typically kind of let my car drop all the way to 30, 25 or 20% before I intentionally actually make the decision to go to a supercharger. So the superchargers really are an amazing infrastructure that Tesla has put in. By the way, the camera is a little bit shaky. I'm sorry, these roads are horrendous. So you having access to these superchargers, it makes a great deal of difference because, well, you have access to a great deal of charge. It's always at your fingertips. And like I said, the supercharging network is grown massively. I will put a link in the description below with a map, or Tesla's map, and you'll see currently what is available. Now remember, superchargers are really the fast chargers. They do have Tesla exclusive wall chargers, for example. They are reasonably slower, but to give you an idea, let's say, for example, you're going on a road trip, you decide to stop at a hotel, find out if they have a supercharger, or sorry, my mistake, find out if they have a charger, an EV charger. I would recommend saying electric vehicle charger. Funny story, when we went on a vacation, we called up a place. Basically, we asked them if they have a EV charger, something to plug into the car. They never heard of a electric car. This was in the boonies in the middle of nowhere, and what ended up happening is they pretty much told us, yes, we get there, and it's a regular wall charger that heats trucks in the winter. Nevertheless, you can use that as well. To charge your Tesla, you can use your regular wall, just your regular 110 outlet. You can use your dryer's outlet. You can use a wall-mounted, let's say, anywhere from 40 up to 80 amp charging kit you can get for that's just unlimited resources, really. If the biggest problem is charging the car, you don't have a problem. So going back to the Tesla chargers, the Tesla Superchargers are obviously a great part of the infrastructure. The part that nobody ever tells anybody is when you get to a Tesla Supercharger and you find out a Tesla's there, now it becomes really strange. It becomes a different world because, well, you're in a Tesla and the guy pulling out beside you is a Tesla. So you end up actually talking a lot more about the cars, about the experiences, about the goods, the bads, and everything else. A great deal. I would say 6 out of 10 times that I go to a supercharger for a quick little, 20-minute charge, I end up doing probably 2 hours. And the reason is because there's so many great people out there you can just sit around and chat. It is an incredible thing. You make so many new friends that are Tesla owners. And Tesla owners in general, for some reason, I found so many great Tesla owners that are pretty darn good drivers. I'll tell you, I'm quite surprised at the way people drive these cars. Now, you have to remember, this is a fast car. In fact, all Teslas are pretty darn fast. It is really easy to be reckless with them. I don't find that with Tesla. With Tesla drivers, I find people have their little spurts. They give it a little, well, they basically just give that a little push on the pedal, and that's about it. They had enough, and they move on, and they just drive nice and carefully. That is great. So going to a Tesla Supercharger is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and having the infrastructure is a wonderful thing. They are going to be building much, much more. This is throughout North America and Europe. It's starting to grow dramatically. If, for example, I want to leave right now from where I am, which is Vancouver, essentially, and I want to go to, let's say, Miami, Florida. Well, basically, it's a long trip. And I basically just tell the car I want to go to Miami, Florida, and navigate there. So I'm actually going to do this on the spot for you guys. And it's so simple, because you simply just say, navigate to Miami, Florida. And the car, what it's going to do is it's going to calculate out your trip, how long it will take to get there, how many times you're going to stop at Superchargers, and you know, it's calculating everything for you. All you really have to do is sit back, chill out, and go on your trip. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So now with Miami, Florida, for example, I'm going to say yes, and now it's going to start doing the calculations. And by the time this is all done, I'll be able to tell you how long it is from my place to Miami, Florida. So the car really does do all the legwork. All you really have to do is tell it where you want to go. That is something that's, once again, an amazing feature of Tesla. For all of you who are wondering about, you know, have that range anxiety and have that anxiety of, okay, well, where am I going to charge? What am I going to do? How am I going to charge up my electric vehicle? Well, with Tesla Supercharger, that's something that you don't really have to worry about. And it is really a very unique situation to compare to other electric vehicles. And I'm not saying other electric vehicles are not good. I'm saying they can make the best possible car, best possible electric vehicle out there, let's say even better than Tesla. But if they don't have an infrastructure that works with that, you have nothing. You know, your regular level 2 chargers, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it is very, very difficult. It adds to your trip a dramatic amount of time. For those who have Model X, Model S, or Model 3 Performance, well, Model 3 Performance until September 16th, you get free supercharging as long as you own your for as long as you own your car, and that is great. I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope you found it useful. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. I'm more than happy to answer them. With that said, thank you very much for watching. Please support the channel by liking, subscribing. Tell your friends about us, anybody who's wondering about Teslas themselves. And most importantly, leave your comments. Tell us what you think and tell us what you're curious about. Once again, I'm sorry that the sun is there. My face is probably gonna look really crazy on this video, but oh well.